All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking real music in real time for real people just like you and just like me. All right, before I get going on this video, here's my buddy Jeff Scott Soto. If you missed this album, that's not a good thing because this is a really great album. Came out several months ago in 2022. I mean, they come out really fast and then people don't talk about them and they go away. The album's called Complicated, and the music inside is a bit complicated because you've got rock and you've got classic rock tendencies, melodic rock tendencies. It's kind of all over the map, so it's kind of hard to put into a just one category. I think Soto said to me that that's why it's called Complicated, because it's not what you'd expect from Jeff Scott Soto, who's been around this business for quite some time. I remember when he was with Yngwie Malmsteen way back in the 1980s, and he sounded great then, and he sounds great now at his advanced age. And he also sang with this band called Journey. You may know him. I talk about him every so often, right? He spent 11 months singing for Journey, and quite honestly, he coulda, shoulda, woulda got that gig, and it would have been fine. Would have been fine. I don't know if he would have continued forever with it, but based on all the drama, right? Who knows? He may have been fired, a year later, or they don't re-sign the contract or something. And this business is very bizarre. Behind the scenes, stuff goes on. I wish I could talk about, but I can't because, again, I've been sworn to secrecy, and I keep those keep those promises not to spill the beans. Even the other day, I had a thing with Tommy DiCarlo, and I just, okay, Tommy, sure, no problem, buddy. I mean, if you're a patron, someone asked me if you want to find out about what's going on there, hit me up over on Patreon. If you're not a member, it's $1 a month. And yes, am I using that to raise money for my Christmas fund? Sure, yeah. I mean, I could do, a fundraiser like a church or something. I could do the telethon and please donate now to keep our ministry going. Speaking of ministry, John Cain is out there talking about how his Christian music is anointed, and people are saying that it's not. If you're not familiar with the word anointed, in certain Christian circles, not all of them, there are certain flavors of Christianity, and the word anointed, it just kind of means you've given like a special blessing, or your music is it's sincere and it's heartfelt and it's filled with the Holy Spirit. That would be something they would say quite a bit. And that's kind of like the barometer, the spirit meter, right, over in that realm of Christianity. Not all Christians talk that way. Most Christians acknowledge, because it's a term that you can find in the Bible, so I'm not against people saying it, but I think sometimes it gets a little overused. Anyway, there's an interesting PR battle setting up. And again, I've been a little suspicious, even at the very beginning of the so-called Journey controversy, that this whole thing isn't just one giant publicity stunt. And I'm being used. Everybody who's covering this is being used every single day. What did Neil say today? What did John say? Oh, John's got a counter lawsuit against Neil. Neil wants the credit card. John says no because Neil spends too much money on the credit card. And then you've got, other people involved in this, putting their name on things that maybe they shouldn't be a part of. And it just goes on and on. Folks, look, I've said this for a very long time. Any publicity is good publicity if you've got lawyers, right? If you don't have lawyers and somebody comes after you and you're throwing out a bunch of crap and someone says, hey, stop doing that, and you say no, and then, they're going to file a lawsuit because you're not behaving the way they want you to, and you don't have the resources to battle, you're probably going to stop doing what they're telling you to stop doing. In the case of Neil versus John, it's, an epic battle, but it's funded, it's financed, and the tour that they have booked with Toto next year is sold out. And my guess is after, or close to being sold out, but after that, my guess is there will be another leg of their 50th anniversary tour, and you may see things like a full orchestra. That's when you'll probably see Greg Raleigh show up if he's going to. I'd like to see, like Jeff Scott Soto. Wouldn't that be awesome? The guy who sings for Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I mean, he's got the vocal chops. So if you invite him up there to sing anything, he's going to just kill it. He could do a great duet. Here's how I would do it if I would bring Soto up there. I wouldn't have Soto singing the Perry material. I'd have Soto be like the Greg Raleigh character and Feeling That Way in Any Time. And he could go back and forth with Arnell, and I think that would be spectacular. Because again, Jeff sings the full spectrum. He's not just a tenor, he's not a baritone, he's an alto. He's everywhere. So anyway, just a thought, I could throw it out there and I'll get shot down for whatever reason. But if Greg comes back, I think that would be later on next year. And I know a lot of Journey fans are excited about that. Journey fans are also looking forward to the onstage chemistry, or the lack thereof. Now, I'm thinking, how are these guys going to put up with each other? Well, Neil stands over here, John's way over there, and there are people in between. It's that simple. All they have to do is go up there and perform. Now, for you fans of band chemistry, like, I'm not going to go see a band if they don't like each other. Well, I got news for you, folks. Did you see what happened with Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham a few years ago? Holy crap, Batman. I mean, you need those two musicians on stage, or it's not really authentic Fleetwood Mac. People are all bummed out because Christine passed away, and we never got to see that lineup happen again. Would have been amazing, but again, one person just said, no, I can't work with the other person. Now, granted, their onstage performances were key. Like, if they were performing a song together, they were close, and there was a chemistry. Sometimes it was an angry chemistry. Sometimes it was a forgiving chemistry. In the case of John and Neil, they've never really had any you have to go back to like 1982 or something to really pick up onstage chemistry between those two guys. Maybe when Odd Jerry joined, because they were like the two musketeers and they had pushed Perry out of the band and they were thinking, yeah, we're going to go forward together. There might have been some, I don't know, chemistry just to prove, to show the world, hey, we can do this without Steve Perry. Some people would say that they still haven't achieved that, but I've liked the music they've done since Perry left, and it's you can't top Steve Perry. I've said this on numerous occasions. I was hoping for maybe some kind of renaissance that would be, really amazing, and I think we got some of that with Arnell when he first joined the band. But everything now is sort of on the decline. Music in general on the radio, no one's going to play any of the new Journey material that's out there, which is a shame. Again, I would get Hypnosis on this and have them get Freedom out there as much as they can. I mean, if they own it, then they can market that album. And I think these guys are smart in a way that I guess, I don't give them credit for, because the bottom line is, all of this negative publicity, this back and forth, the lawsuits, the name calling, just vicious, and all these descriptive words, and the timing, after the argument, Neil says, hey, we're going to bring Greg in. And I'm thinking, you're bringing Greg Raleigh back to Journey now when you're having a fight with Jonathan Cain? That is some great publicity. I mean, maybe Herbie Herbert is looking down, or he's sending telepathic messages to Neil and John. This is how you guys can make a ton of money. Maybe Steve Perry is actually working with these guys because he's going to benefit from anything that they do. He's going to reap some financial reward. We can set up this fake argument about the trademarks to bring my name back into things so I can get some sympathy. I mean, I can put on a tinfoil hat. We could come up with maybe a half a dozen Journey conspiracies right now. I mean, the bottom line is all of this is going to sell tickets. It'll probably sell a few downloads. You know, maybe they can get a song into some other movie or mini series or TikTok video to generate a lot more, you know, revenue for the band and more excitement for the upcoming tour with Toto. And then my guess is the second leg, if they have a second leg, which I can't imagine why they wouldn't on the 50th anniversary, that's when you'll see some really cool musical surprises. That's what I think. I'm not 100% on this, and I don't have, you know, anything in writing, but that would be my guess for the second part of 2023. Anyway, folks, the journey continues, right? As the journey turns. And here's Jeff Scott Soto. He used to sing with Journey, and he could still sing with Journey. In fact, they need to invite Jeff back for the 50th. He was the bridge between Jerry and Arnel Pineda. He was very important. Kept that tour going, was really loved by the fans, I think, especially toward the end. He was really winning everybody over. And then, poof, he was gone because he wasn't that traditional voice that they had had before. But man, go listen to some of those clips from, I think it was 07, 08 in that time frame. And Jeff is just killing it on stage. Plus, he's got this monstrous stage presence. Sorry, Jeff, calling Jeff a monster, but you know, he's the natural born frontman to a rock band. And over his career, he's been underappreciated, underutilized. Van Halen wanted to, you know, resurrect their entire brand. All they need is one guy. His name is Jeff Scott Soto, who can do the Sammy parts and he can do the Dave parts. And it would just be great. And maybe you hire Mitch Malloy too. You know, you have them both up there. I don't know. Who knows? It could be like the Sam and Dave show, except maybe they'll get along. But these are just my ideas. They're crazy, and no one's really paying attention to me. So anyway, folks, thanks for watching. Again, don't forget to subscribe. Christmas, hey, it's Christmas. If you're in the giving spirit, don't forget about Patreon for $1 a month. Apparently now, even on YouTube, you can do a thing here called memberships. If you hit the join button, I think it's like $2.99 a month. And I think all of that goes in with the YouTube AdSense revenue. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. But if you wanted to join up and do it that way, it's really easy. Just one button and you're done. I think you probably put in some information if you have a credit or a debit card. I'm not sure because I haven't joined anybody's page. I haven't even joined my own page. Maybe I should start donating to myself. Anyway, folks, thanks again, and I will see you soon.